Hey, this is Dave coming at you from Southeast Michigan. I figured I'd do a video of what we've been doing the last few weeks. We've been doing a bathroom remodel. My mom said, hey, when you get done with that tile, why don't you take a couple pictures? So I figured I'll just do better than that. I'll just do a video. But we had all of this completely tore out. It's a rental house I've had for about 13 years. It's had pretty much the same tenant paying the rent on time for all that time. So this bathroom was actually older when they rented from me, so we decided just to tear it all out, and we tore all of it out. We tore all the drywall out, added a ceiling fan, we added the switch here, put the plugs, we redid the wiring. Over here we put 2 plugs on the wall instead of the one. They just had one in, like I think this one, and so the home run came from that one. So cut the wire short from this, dropped it into that box, new wire from here to here. And then the plug in the bathroom is now dedicated. The outlet in here used to be on all of these, just on this one circuit with everything, the lights, everything. So we switched that. We redid this PVC back to the cast iron stack, which is back behind this wall. Redid the flange. Cut the cast iron pipe in the basement, made it a rubber coupling. If I have time in this video, I'll run down there and show you that. I just wanted to give you some pointers though on, I like to do videos when I can actually teach some stuff. So anyways, this window here, I don't know if you can see, but we added a slant to the tile. And the way you do that before you put the hardy backer in there, I put roofing nails in there on the back, and you nail them in about 1/4 inch before they go down in, maybe not 1/4, about 1/8, and that will slant it. And you put thin set behind under the nails to where, you know, over time those nails will never sink down in. So that's a pointer. Make sure your window center. We actually had to mess around with that window. It was really bad. Whoever put that in did not put that in plumb. So we just reset the window, made sure it was centered. I did a bullnose perimeter, and then you just put the inside tile on the jamb first flush with the hardy on the wall, and then you run the bowl nose, and then the thin set of the bowl nose will give you your space to the inside tile. Another thing, use a small trowel when you're doing this. I'm not a tile guy, but it just seemed like with me, it was easier for me just to use a small little hand trowel that has the notches instead of trying to trowel mud onto the actual wall. You can do that when you have a big body of them to do, but just seems like you get pretty quick at buttering them. But anyways, another pointer here, we redid the valve here, new tub valve. But what we do, I always think of the future person. So this pipe that feeds your downspout, you'll never have to access that up there. If you do that right and it's soldered properly, it should be there for 200 years. It's never gonna go bad if it's supported properly and everything. But down here, if you ever have to change your valve, from the inside, you can unscrew the valve because this is big enough to get to the valve. But over here on the back side, on here, and always make sure you put your shutoff valves. I just use the Craig jig. And so what happens is, and you can see how I fasten this to here, this way. I could have used a 2-hole strap from the other side before we put hardy backboard in. But the problem with that is, how do you get to those screws if you ever have to mess with this? So if you had to completely redo this, this would be a plumber's dream, because you would just take the Craig jig screws out. After unfastening there, you take this banding strap off and just take both blocks out. And now you have full access to this. And then another thing too, you'll see how I raised the access off the floor. What this does, and here's the piece that goes in here. I just took it off so people could see it. You put this in. Screw this in with drywall. Don't liquid nail it. Don't do anything. When you run this with casing, you can now do a picture frame. If you run this all the way to the floor, if you run this out, first of all, there's no reason to, because your shutoff valves are right there. You'll never have to get down below this right here. This makes it to where your base molding can run straight through, and then you'll just have a picture frame all the way around with your casing. And what I would recommend with this casing, go ahead and just put the casing on with drywall screws, paint over them. It doesn't matter, it's an access hole. I wouldn't even caulk the side of this, just in case you ever have to get in there. I guess you could do some thin caulk, but then if you do that, you'll have to cut it and you know what I mean? Like, it's up to you. But this is a rental house, and people are already gonna think the bathroom's beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this drywall in, put the casing with actual screws instead of finished brad nails. The screw heads will just be painted the white. You'll probably be able to see them, but and then no caulking around the outer perimeter. That way it's easier for me, the landlord, because most likely if something goes wrong, it'll either be me or my son that's going to be getting in there later. And so what else? We did tear out this old carpeting, and to our pleasant surprise, we have hardwood floors. So we're going to actually, there's a mirror whenever we want to just check ourselves out.